So we're going to go over to meteorologist Natalie Ferrari, who's standing by for us.
Yeah, we have the brand new 5 p.m. update that just came in down from the National Hurricane Center. We were talking about this potential all morning long into this afternoon. We officially now have a storm that has maximum sustained wind speeds at 75 miles per hour. Gusts could be as close to 90 miles per hour or near the center of this. So this is all the bulk of it offshore in the Atlantic. But we're starting to get that area a really decent, not only area of rotation, but also that circulation trying to form an eye once again. Either way, all of that heavy rainfall again right over the Atlantic, but those outer bands already scooting across the coastal sections of Georgia and into Florida. Northeastern Florida, of course, still has been dealing with this all morning long, the storm surge and still that onshore flow, those gusty showers that just continue to brush offshore. As mentioned, this is a Category 1 hurricane now, continuing to drift towards the north, pulling away from Florida. But look, we still have some of those tropical storm warnings just to account for those outer bands having still tropical storm force winds along northeast Florida, back out towards the coast, the marine areas, really up towards South Carolina, even on land as well. This red is all hurricane warnings. So this is expected to make landfall near or just north of Charleston, South Carolina. Let me go ahead and show you some of the latest models, because I do want to let you know that this storm right here, as it just has the center of it over the Atlantic, look at all of the impacts continuing to spread and spread far and wide. I mean, we have a very hefty wind field out ahead of this, but we also have a lot of moisture being pulled into it all across the Atlantic, all the way up and down along the coastline, even just over the coastline of North Carolina, all that moisture just being sucked right in. But this is also a new update that we have in from the National Hurricane Center. Not only is it a Cat 1 storm, look very closely. Friday morning through Friday afternoon, we are now looking at not only a storm that's going to possibly be slowing down. I'm seeing some of the forecasts actually show landfall now a little bit later on Friday, but could be seeing this storm get to about 80 miles per hour. So it actually is going to try its hardest to continue strengthening as we go through much of the next 24-hour window. You can see, again, the track has, as of 5 p.m., shifted ever so slightly a little bit more to the north-northeast, just north of Charleston, but still, they are going to be feeling the impacts there all the way there through Wilmington, even into central portions of North Carolina along the coastline. Once it makes landfall, it will deteriorate very, very quickly. However, it is going to have torrential rainfall, strong winds, fall apart over multiple states as it does fall apart towards the northeast. And I want to show you these spaghetti models because earlier in the afternoon, they did start to pick up a little bit more of a shift towards the northern, maybe even north central portions of the South Carolina coastline. Good consensus here. They've been holding on very, very tight as far as where the center of this will fall, but we've just got to stress our neighbors to the north are going to be feeling still those impacts far and wide when it comes to Ian. So there it goes, pulling off. Look at that hefty wind field all across, not only here at home, the Sunshine State. We are still dealing with that west to almost northwesterly wind, and more of a northwesterly wind out towards South Florida. But up through the north, it is a strict north wind, and that is helping to really wrap in some drier air behind this as Ian continues to pull away. Unbelievable. We're just talking about a hurricane status once again. All that heavy rainfall, as of right now, the heaviest of it, the strongest of the storm is offshore. But as we push this through time, that will be approaching, unfortunately, coastal areas of Georgia. South Carolina, of course, going to be dealing with the heftiest into the North Carolina coastline, rather the state line, I should say, pushing through even parts of the Outer Banks that will be dealing with those outflow impacts easily through Friday going into Saturday as well. This all will push again towards the northeast very quickly, falling apart. But I do think landfall may take a little bit more time, a little bit more so into the afternoon going on Friday, and it could be a slightly stronger hurricane. So unfortunately, we're just not quite done talking about Hurricane Ian at this hour.